just got some big Sonic movie news, everyone, but I want to let you know that when it comes to these sort of things, you always have to be cautious because anything can happen in the development phase. You don't know if someone's gonna buy out Paramount. Well, actually, I believe Skydance just did that, so we don't have to worry about that. But projects come and go all the time. Just look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Last Ronin movie. That has been kind of squashed out, even though that was in development and rumored to be happening for a long time. So we need to be cautious about this. But this news is quite exciting. Hello everyone, I'm OCDsaster, and this is OCDsaster Blue, my Sonic exclusive channel, where everything I do here is Sonic related. So if that sounds like something your speed, consider subscribing and checking out some other videos after this one. So what is this Sonic movie rumor? Well, before we heard the rumors of a Shadow the Hedgehog spin-off movie, not TV show movie, and then of course we have Sonic Movie 4 in development with Metal Sonic and Amy debuting in the Sonic movie universe, but now it has been revealed that they are working on another Sonic movie that is a event level movie. And a lot of people have been speculating and a lot of people have been just kind of like throwing their ideas out. And now it is my turn. I have no evidence. I am just kind of spitballing here on what I think is going to happen, and I could be very wrong, and I think I'm going to be wrong on a lot of things because the Sonic movies kind of throw things for a loop. Although they are adaptations and references to different Sonic games, they never really fully follow one linear or exact storyline one for one, so it would be cool to see what they're going to be doing with this. But we have to go back in time to CinemaCon, like 2022 maybe, 2023. I can't remember how many years it's been, but they did announce that they wanted to make the Sonic movie franchise an Avengers-like thing, where they have a movie where they all come together and it's a big event piece. They wanted to really follow the MCU back when the MCU was doing a lot better than it is now, and it looks like they're continuing with that tradition. And the rumors of Sonic Movie 4 being the last movie is already, you know, dead and in the water because they've announced that they're going to be doing this event level movie, and that is very exciting for a multitude of reasons. Now, this is what I think they're going to do. I personally believe what they're going to do is they're going to have Sonic Movie 4 end in a like cliffhanger for a part 2. It's not going to be called Sonic 4 Part 2, but the second part to that story is going to be the event movie. But I think in between that, they're going to have the Shadow the Hedgehog movie. So I think we're going to get Sonic Movie 4, and then we're going to get a Shadow the Hedgehog movie a few years after that, maybe 1 or 2, not as long as it usually takes to get these movies out, because I believe they've already been working on the Shadow the Hedgehog movie. Get that out as kind of like a what he's been up to this whole time, and then we move in to Sonic Movie 5, which will be this big event type of movie that won't actually be called Sonic Movie 5. It's probably going to be called something like different, right? What I think is going to happen is Sonic Movie 4 is going to be a very loose adaptation of Sonic CD, in which Amy is actually from the future and comes back in time to warn Sonic about a very tragic future in which Eggman is ruling everything with his Metal Sonic at his side, along with a bunch of other armies of smaller Metal Sonic, maybe not smaller, but clones of the original Metal Sonic. I think that is going to be the major plot there. There's going to be some wacky time travel. They're really going to focus on the Sonic characters more than the human characters. They kind of learned their lesson thus far, and they're really going to, you know, focus on that, I think, for Sonic Movie 4. And I think it's going to be probably the biggest and darkest movie we have yet. Once again, this is all speculation. I have no evidence for this, but this is what I'm just predicting. They're going to have to go to the future to stop Dr. Eggman and Metal Sonic. They're going to succeed in the movie, but once they get back to the present with Amy now with them, she's going to be just like a part of their crew. And I believe they said they might be doing a spin-off show with her on Paramount Plus. Everything's going to be different and broken, and they're going to do some weird time travel-y consequences stuff where what they did to save the future really affected the past and the present, and it's going to be wonky, and it's going to be a hard like twist at the very end. They're probably going to have like Silver show up and be like, what did you do? You were the trigger. I don't know if they're going to say Iblis Trigger, but they're just be like, you're going to be like the thing that messed up the timeline, and then it's just going to cut. And then we're going to move over to Shadow the Hedgehog's movie, in which Shadow, in my theory of Shadow the Hedgehog, I said this in a previous video, Shadow is on another planet. He is on the Black Comet, and he is dealing with Doom and his, entire thing. And I actually think Shadow will lose the fight with Doom on the Black Comet, and he will have to come back to Earth. But when he comes back to Earth, he realizes that things are different and that he needs to warn Sonic and friends of Doom coming over. And that's kind of what this whole twist in the timeline is now you have a new big bad, and that is Black Doom. Moving on to this event, Sonic Movie 5, they will have to team up, they being Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, Amy, and Shadow will all go on their little separate journeys, but we'll also now get the introduction to Silver and Blaze. I don't think we would get like Cream the Rabbit, Big the Cat. A lot of people are speculating like a Sonic Heroes level event, but I don't think that would work. That would be one, way too costly, and also you would have to introduce all those characters in such a short period of time. If they were setting that up, they would have had to introduce more Sonic characters in previous titles. So I don't think they're doing that. The only other thing I could see them doing would be a, like, not Sonic Adventure, but something similar where, like, Chaos is the big bad. That could be kind of cool and kind of just push together, like, maybe a story arc with Doom and Shadow, and then kind of move that over into Chaos on Earth for this big event. Those are what I'm thinking, but they could go in a completely different direction. They could have Eggman still being the big bad through it all. They could even bring in Mega Eggman from like the Sonic Rush series. They have a lot to pull from, and they can go in many different directions, but it's just exciting to think about that we're going to be getting an event-level Sonic movie. Like, let's tamper our expectations and still have in the back of our head that it might get canceled, things might get shifted around, but for now, let's just like really take in the excitement, because this is huge. Who would have ever thought that the Ugly Sonic movie that debuted would become this big blockbuster franchise? Now, it's not on the MCU level, but each movie does generate a decent amount of profit and has already grossed over 100 million, not 100 million, that's way too low, 1 billion between all three movies thus far. So it makes sense that they're going to be putting all their eggs in one basket to try to do this big event. I would speculate that some CEOs in some suits at Paramount were looking at the money, and they told, the director and the creative team, hey, listen, we're going to greenlight these few projects, and we'll give you your event project. But if this event project doesn't make substantially more money than the other movies and doesn't turn a bigger profit than the other movies have, we're gonna, reboot this movie universe, and we're gonna go a different direction. I can 100% see that being a boardroom conversation, and I really hope that this event movie, whatever the storyline may be, is a big hit, so we can keep getting these movies, because I know there's so many more stories to tell in the Sonic universe. I mean, the event movie could even be Sonic Frontiers adaptation. They might go all the way forward, and it's like Sage is introduced and the Titans are taking over. I doubt they would do anything like the Werehog situation, but I mean, who knows at this point? We're just going to have to wait and see as more leaks and more information come out, but this isn't going to be for a long time. This is probably going to be in like 5 to 10 years from now, if I had to guess. So however old you are now, add 5 to 10 years, like in that range is how old you'll be when this thing even gets on its way. So there's still a lot of time and a lot of things that could happen in between, but I am very hopeful, and I want to know your guys' thoughts. What do you think this event Sonic movie is going to be after Sonic Movie 4 and the Shadow the Hedgehog movie? Do you think that it's going to be Sonic Heroes? Do you think it's going to be an adaptation of Sonic Adventure, Sonic Frontiers? I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions down below. What do you think of my idea? Do you think I'm on track? Do you think Black Doom has a chance of being in this story? Or do you think they're going to go in a completely different direction for the Shadow the Hedgehog movie? I would be happy to read your comments. And yeah, I'm OCDsaster, and I hope you have a super Sonic rest of your day. See ya!